I never imagined my marriage would reach the point where silence cut deeper than any argument. For years, I held faith in my wife, believing that even when we clashed, she would at least try to find middle ground. But what unfolded last week shattered the foundation I thought we stood on, leaving me replaying the ending over and over in disbelief. It began with a trip she had organized with her friends. On the surface, it seemed harmless enough, just a few days away, a small break from daily stress. But deep down, I couldn't shake the unease. I couldn't pinpoint exactly why. Maybe it was the timing. Maybe it was the way her eyes slid away whenever the subject came up. Or maybe it was instinct, that gnawing inner voice warning me that something wasn't right. I told her more than once that the idea unsettled me. Not because I wanted to control her, not because I wanted to restrict her, but because I felt this trip would only widen the cracks already forming between us. We had been fighting more often lately, little arguments snowballing into heavier ones. I needed us to pull closer, not drift further apart. But she dismissed me with practiced indifference. "You're overreacting. I need this," she said flatly, like my words meant nothing. Then in front of me, she zipped her suitcase and rolled it toward the door. Watching her leave felt like watching a stranger, not my partner. That night, I sat in silence, staring at the same door she'd walked through. I thought about calling her, about sending a message, about begging her to reconsider. But as the minutes dragged into hours, something inside me hardened. Why should I chase someone who clearly didn't care if I was chasing? Why hold on when she had already let go? So I made my choice. No shouting, no broken glass, no tears. I simply disappeared. I powered off my phone, shut down every connection, and vanished from her reach. No texts, no calls, nothing. I wanted her to taste the emptiness of expecting someone who no longer shows up. The hours slipped by. Then the night. For the first time in years, my phone didn't light up with her name. No good night, no check-in. I told myself maybe she hadn't noticed. Maybe she was busy enjoying her trip. But the silence only grew heavier, pressing against me until it was almost unbearable. By the next morning, though, I felt strangely calm. No regret, no second-guessing. I moved through my day as if everything were normal, though inside I was waiting to see what she would do when she realized I was gone. And then it happened. Late in the afternoon, a knock echoed against the door. At first, I ignored it, but it grew louder, sharper, almost frantic. When I finally opened it, she stood there, suitcase at her feet, eyes swollen from crying. She looked nothing like the woman who had walked out with confidence just a day earlier. She looked shaken, desperate. For a long time, neither of us spoke. The silence between us was thick, suffocating. Finally, in a broken whisper, she asked, "Why did you disappear?" I studied her face, searching for truth, for remorse, for anything real. Then I spoke words I carried inside for far too long. "Because you left me long before I left you." Her eyes widened, tears spilling down her cheeks. She stumbled over explanations, insisting the trip wasn't what I imagined, begging me to understand. But in that moment, the details didn't matter. What mattered was the truth staring me in the face. She hadn't cared enough to stay when I needed her. Her voice cracked as she pleaded, but my mind was already somewhere else. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't breaking. I wasn't even sad. I was done. For the first time, I saw clearly. Sometimes the deepest betrayal isn't infidelity or lies. It's simply choosing to walk away when someone asks you to stay. She stood at my door, unraveling before me, but my decision was already sealed. I wasn't going to disappear again. I was going to move forward without her. And as I closed the door, leaving her on the other side, the truth finally settled in my chest. Love without respect was never love at all.